Hi, welcome to the Way Out Tarot. This will be your timeless general reading. The intention that I set before doing this reading, what I hope for, what I ask for, are messages about what you need to know. Whenever you come across this video, I would like to thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating. Please continue to do so. I really appreciate you. Thank you. As you watch, I encourage you to use your intuition and knowledge of your own experience to interpret the messages that come through. The paths that you all walk are not identical, but your presence here, I like to believe that it means that you, everyone else watching, and we have a shared interest in gaining insight into what's happening now and how we can better understand ourselves, what's happening to us, better understand our experiences so that we can learn from them and affect change in our lives. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, Gemini. Let's see what's going on for you guys. A sec. I had a feeling that some of these are upside down, so let me just correct that real quick. And then we'll get started. I apologize for not being prepared. Thank you for waiting. All right, a couple more shuffles. Tell it like it is what's coming through with this card. Very cut and dry, very clear. You're not mincing your words around this time. I keep hearing why the long face. Also, why so serious? Joker energy. You may be watching Joker or one of the Batman movies, or Joaquin. Could be important. I recently started watching El Chapo. Someone put me onto it on Netflix, and it's very, very well done. I'm not done with it, but it's just really incredible to see the lengths that he went to smuggle drugs into the United States. I'm not sure what this has to do with your reading, but it's just what I feel called to talk about. So Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. I think that you're not playing with people around this time. I think that there is, some of you guys could have been wronged here. It's like somebody owes you, and I think that you have some things to say about it. Nine of Swords coming out in reverse. You are not afraid I feel like you're just calling people out. You're just calling people out. Four of Pentacles. And it's a lot of it is it's stuff that you've been holding back. But I hear you, you're just like they deserve it. I hear you, you're just like they need to hear it. It's time. The moment that you do say something, that is the, I don't know if it's going to be the same exact moment that a lot of different things change, but change is something that is certain. Change is something that is guaranteed. More, and we're going to talk about what's here a bit more. I want to try to pin down this energy, figure out what's going on. So, okay. Your attitude right now is one in which you are very deliberate. You're very careful, you're very sure about the things you want to get off of your chest, about the things that used to scare you is what's coming through. I think that you're very adventurous in certain areas of your life. There are things that you don't think twice about doing. There are things that you are, I would maybe even say, reckless about. And there are other things that you are decidedly more careful. There are some things that you are, that you might be insecure about, or a person that you might be insecure about. This could be someone who I don't know, guys. And maybe you don't know either. Maybe you don't know either. Now, let's talk about money for a moment, because I feel like money it's messy. It's messy, but I like that the Wheel of Fortune is here, because it means that things are in the process of being corrected. They will be corrected. If it feels at times like you don't have enough, that's something that will change. If it feels at times like there's a unhealthy obsession with money in the way that you hoard it, in the way that you are I don't think it's that you're scared to spend it. I just think that maybe it's having an effect on your outlook. And I think that there's some situation where it's gotten messy because of it has nothing to do with how you feel about it. I don't think that this has anything to do with feelings. I just think it's gotten messy because there are a lot of questions about right and wrong when it comes to money. It could be how you're getting it, how it's coming into your life. It could be an obsession that you have with keeping it. Perhaps you feel robbed. Maybe you feel like that's what somebody owes you. Maybe like there's something about billable hours here, something about all of the work that you've done, or all of the work that someone else has done. All of the cards are coming out in reverse. I think this is plenty, actually. I am being told to stop. So we're gonna talk about what's here. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands. And let's get some oracles on the table and really try to zero in on what's going on here for you. Every man for himself. Fuck you, pay me. It's too many. Let's just get a clear thank you. Right. Let's get one more. Came out a moment ago with all the other cards, but I put it back because I had too many. So we got authority and loss coming out. This is, I believe that's Saturn in Pisces, is it? Yeah. And Mars in Capricorn. You don't necessarily have to have those placements or dealing with those signs. These planetary placements are pertinent to the reading in some way, shape, or form. I encourage you to look up those placements just for some insight into your reading and what they mean on a personal level, but also what they mean characteristic-wise. And I am just going to take a quick look in the book just to make sure I got the symbols correct. I don't want to mislead you. So let me see. Okay. So we were right about authority. That is Mars in Capricorn. So that's one. And then the second one, for loss, is gonna be standby. Okay, so it is Saturn in Pisces. Now, here, tell you what, I'll read the short version of each of these, just because we're here and I have the book in my hands, so might as well. So the lost card for this one is in terms of events. Hold on, that's not in focus. Let me try to do this. Okay. So this one is a feeling of loss, situations involving hospitals or health clinics, work in the field of complementary therapies, counseling others, developing interests in the occult. And then for authority, we got fear. Okay. This one is ambitious moves requiring great self-control, being in a position of power over less reliable people, a lonely job with great responsibility, seeking help from someone in a position of authority. So there, I saved you a couple Google searches. So now let's talk about the tarot a bit more and about what's happening with you, for you, to you around this time. The overall energy, we have the Queen of Swords. And this speaks of your, so attitude is coming through. Attitude is persona. And what does it mean to embody the Queen of Swords energy? I think that you're very decided. You're very decisive. I think that there's something that's been holding you guys back, and it isn't holding you back anymore. And that thing, I believe it's fear. There are just some things that you aren't worrying about anymore, or it could be there are some things that you've grown accustomed to worrying about them, so they've become a part of your life, they've become a part of your daily routine. I see you letting that go. I see you breaking free from those bonds. The Wheel of Fortune, that's the promise that's coming with it. In so many ways, you could be feeling like your movement is restricted. You could be feeling like you have to choose your words carefully, or there are some conversations that you can't have. Maybe you feel like you don't have the freedom to have. Maybe you feel like you don't have the understanding yet, or the outcome is not one that you are ready to accept. But that's only for a couple of you, because as I said, I do think that you're releasing a lot of fears around this time. Now, the King of Pentacles in reverse is concerning because it's coming after the Wheel of Fortune. So if this is you, and if this is your final position, not final position, but if this is your financial position, if that's what the King of Pentacles in reverse is about, then I think that this is a situation where you are holding on to something so tight that you are going to lose it, no matter how much support you have around you, no matter how much good things you have going for you. It's something, you're going to lose it, and you're going to feel a bit unstable because of it's because you're sure that your way is the best way to handle it. Your way of seeing the situation is the only way to see it. It's the only way that makes sense to you. It's the only plausible conclusion. And we have the Lovers down here with the Emperor. And some of you, yes, at face value could be dealing with a fire sign who things have gone to shit with. For some of you, could be Aries, could be Sagittarius, it could be any of them, quite frankly, but there's strong Aries here, strong Aries and strong Leo. And let's say this isn't about anybody else, right? And it's just about you and your pride, or it's just about you and your need to have control, your need to have the last word, your need to have a say in what happens to you. That isn't always a bad thing. However, when someone else's life is hanging in the balance, when someone else's feelings is are hanging in the balance. It's something that we must also consider, that we must always take into consideration when we're being told to say divvying up the happiness, when it comes to dividing resources. If you feel the need to seek counsel because the weight of the decisions that you have to make are proving to be too overwhelming for you, then I think that you should do that. That's what the authority card is wanting you to do, telling you that it's okay to do. But I do think that there's something that you guys need to make peace with here. There's something that you feel like you're going to lose, or something that you feel like you are losing, like you have lost that losing it means losing your chance, your shot at happiness, your chance at stability, your chance at security. There could be something that you are realizing that you maybe had at one point or another, and you're starting to miss it. I really try to, or have been trying to, be forward thinking when I do these readings, but I can't help I can't stop nostalgic energy from coming through. If that's what you're feeling, if that's what we should be talking about. I know. I know you just want to move on. I know you don't want to think about it anymore. I know you don't want to lose any sleep over it anymore. I know that you wish that you didn't care as much as you do, but this is something that you can't shake. This is someone that you can't quit. We got a romantic partner discloses to you that they have what does that say? Oh, a romantic partner discloses to you that they have an STI 6 months after you first started dating. What would you do? That is scary. And if any of you are going through that right now, my heart goes out to you, and nobody deserves to find out something like this late into the relationship. Or if it's not a relationship and this was a one-night stand, this is not a kind of surprise that anyone would like to have or find out. The next one we got is you politely decline someone's invitation and they become hostile and argumentative. What would you do? So it's interesting which one of these are what would you do cards, obviously, but there's two types in this deck. There are what would you do cards and there are reflection cards. So here we have two very specific hypotheticals that I think that you should consider carefully and consider I think the wise thing to do would be to go to the clinic or go to your primary care provider. Go ahead and get that checkup if you have been putting it off. It's high time that you get one. Do it for your health and do it for peace of mind. If you are waiting for test results, my advice to you would be that you have already taken the test, and worrying about it is not going to change the outcome. If someone is breaking this news to you that they have an STI, the adult thing to do would, well, it depends on how you handled it. And I'm sorry if you're not dealing with this situation and I'm talking about it so much, but we're all adults here. And the fact of the matter is, sex education is not something that is embraced as it should be. And it leads to a lot of unfortunate things happening. These types of conversations being one of them with your sexual partners. Now, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but you get what I'm saying. Now, this second card is a loaded one, because I do think that, the tarot as well kind of supports the storyline that there is something that is ending here. You could be the one that ended this, or they could have been the one that ended this, or it could have been mutual. It could have been mutual. But the fact of the matter is, how do you handle heartbreak, I think, is what the question is here. Your own heartbreak, or the hearts that you manage to break because you don't want to participate anymore. You don't want to give them love anymore. And this is someone who has a tendency to be argumentative. This is someone who has a tendency to be very passionate, very fiery. We said that you guys could be dealing with a fire sign, and they want an explanation. They want an answer. And if they're not the ones that are seeking this, then, we're not better than anyone, right? You could be embodying this energy yourself. You may want that explanation where you feel like you didn't get one. You may be the one who is becoming hostile and argumentative, and these cards are wanting you to, this card in particular is wanting you to put yourself in your partner's shoes. Maybe ask yourself, how would you respond if they were behaving the way that you're behaving? I feel I should pull one of these. Okay, and we got East Emergence. So there is definitely an energy in the read of something coming out, something becoming known, something being revealed. And at the bottom of the deck, we got the Shapeshifter card, Perspective. So there's something here about masks. There's something here about authenticity. You could be seeing the signs of something. Yeah, guys, definitely make an appointment for your own safety, for your own health, just to be sure. Right? Now, the East may be calling you. The East could be significant in some way, shape, or form. But this card, in essence, is about coming into your own. The energy is actually quite beautiful, and they say that the truth will set you free, right? It sounds a bit cliche, but what's interesting about both of these cards is that they're both difficult conversations to have, but they lead to peace of mind if you see it through. If you're fearless, if you're brave enough to address the things that need to be addressed, it's like that's what needs to happen first here in order for you to get that peace of mind. Now I'm just gonna really quickly make sure that the cards are upright in this deck before we clarify a bit. See if we can get some more information. We talked about what's here. We talked about it intuitively for quite a bit. Now let's go through these here. Yeah, sometimes the cards just fall, they fly everywhere, and I don't always align them properly when I'm picking them up. Okay, thanks again for your patience. So we're gonna just go through here. Let's start with that Queen of Swords up at the top. Very much looking like you. Queen of Swords clarified by the Five of Swords. The first thing I just heard is tired of your own bullshit. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but I feel like this might be how you're talking to yourself. So be careful with that. You really need to be mindful of how you're talking to yourself. Don't get caught up in criticizing yourself. Just really get in that space where you start to analyze your behavior, start to analyze your habits, maybe try to understand why you have this need to control. Eight of Cups coming out in reverse here next. Why do you play with the things that you don't want to lose? It's kind of like you're playing with your food. You know that you need to eat it. You know that it's what will sustain you. You know that it'll give you energy. You know that Two of Cups, you know that it gives you life, but you play with it. Especially if you're dealing with a fire sign or an earth sign. Could be someone with strong Taurus placements. This could also just be about you. Yeah. King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Definitely could be dealing with a fire sign. Now, I think that some of you are scared to make a commitment here. You're scared to invest. You're scared to take a risk. And I would like to believe that that's energy that you're moving out of. Is it? Knight of Swords? Could be. Could be. He could be the one, is what I'm hearing next. Knight of Cups, he could be the one. Let's take a look at the Wheel of Fortune. What type of change is coming about here? Three of Cups. It's like everything that you want is on the other side of your fear. Everything that you want is on the other side of you deciding how much is too much. You really deciding that you've seen enough, that you've gathered enough information. So perhaps what this is about, I think we've talked about this before on this channel, where you guys really, you feel like you really need to know. You feel like you really need to know, and you're willing to wait. You're willing to delay gratification until you're sure. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles clarified by the Eight of Swords. Yeah, so you could be worried about money. And if it's not worried about money, it could be worried about work. Could be your boss. There are some, perhaps it's their directives that you don't really agree with, or maybe it's something to do with pay. Why do I feel like your boss could be absent? We got the Death card coming out in reverse, making it very difficult for you to... It's not that you need to be micromanaged, because I get a very independent drive coming from your energy. It's just that there are some things that you know could be better. And it's like, in order for them to be better, someone's presence is required here. Leave the Scorpio alone. I just think that there's been enough collateral damage. It's like they've done you wrong and you got your lick back, and then you said and did some things, and they said and did some things. Let's talk about the Lovers down here for a moment. The Lovers clarified by the Six of Wands. And the Three of Swords. It's interesting, you know, you could... Sorry. You know those kinds of victories that don't really feel like victories? It's because you know that you lost something along the way. We got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Something that you held dearly, something that you held very close. And this one actually fell down on the floor and I didn't see it. It fell when I was shuffling this deck. But we got prayer. And it says hope at the bottom of this card. And it's a bit heartbreaking. We were talking about what you guys lost. And I think you might have lost faith in a situation here. You might be losing faith in a person. But this card wants you to do the opposite. It wants to restore your faith. It wants to restore your belief in what's possible. Let's talk about the Emperor. Okay. My bad, I keep shaking the camera. So the Emperor clarified by the Magician. This is the second reading that where the Emperor was clarified by the Magician. You guys could be dealing with a Taurus. We said that. I think it came out like that in the Taurus reading. Also could have come out like that in the Aries reading, but I'm pretty sure it's the Taurus one. There might be something in the Taurus reading for you. But this Emperor is showing up in quite a few different people's reading. And I think that it's about the impact that this, I'm convinced, is the person at this point. It's the impact that they're having on the lives of others. I think that this person is a change maker. This person is a change maker. They're very, very influential, very powerful. And just as we say that, we got fortitude coming out next. Very influential, very powerful. Ace of Pentacles. Very courageous. Conscientious, kind, brave. Getting total package vibes. So what's wrong? What's the issue here? I don't know. Let's see. What is the problem? Maybe money's the issue. And maybe someone is being judged for what they have or don't have. Maybe someone is being judged for what they do for a living. I'm also hearing who they are, how they are. The Emperor card comes out again. So if you're dealing with a fire sign, I would say if you want this to go anywhere, judge no one lest you become judged yourself. And my advice to you would be before you call judgment on someone else, take a look at your own life and take a look at what you have going on. Everyone has a story, and I think you know that. Everyone has a story, and maybe that's why it's not that you don't care, and it's not that you're just uninterested to hear. Maybe it's just that you are afraid that you won't believe them, or maybe you're afraid that you will. That I don't know. But what I do know is that the Ace of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. And I know an opportunity when I see one. And I know a lack of faith when I see one. So I think that even though something looks really good to you, something looks really appealing to you, I think that you guys would just rather go it alone. You'd rather face the world alone, but I think the secret is, or they would rather face it alone. But I don't think that that's what you or what they really want. There's just been so much losing of the things that matter the most, and it's like, even though other things have been great, it's just the weight of what has been lost is all that you can really think about. And to that I would say is, I suggest that you get very clear about what you want and about how fair you're being when it comes to what you want. Who is really standing in the way of you not getting it? What is in between you and what you want most, what would restore your faith. I can tell you right now that the distractions are only going to work for so long. I can tell you right now that trying to fit a square into a star-shaped slot is not going to work. I have a feeling that you know exactly what would work. I have a feeling that you know exactly what you would like. But how long are you going to settle for less? How long are you going to settle for almost? If you guys would like more content, the links to the Way Out podcast are in the description box. If you made it this far, I'm speechless. I am so grateful to you, and I hope that you got something from this reading, that it helped. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You might as well stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.